I read this question. Teach us how to change our karma. So, Paul Dirac, a physicist, would say, this is not a question, and he would remain silent for minutes to the embarrassment of all his students. Dear friends, we don't need to change our karma, but we need to find out who has karma. There is a series of illusions, one linked to the other. In an indirect path, you change karma and improve it. And it is an excellent thing, but in a direct path, you discover that who you are hasn't any karma, and only who you aren't has it. This is a beautiful speech that you will probably turn into theoretical discourse. The moment you start wondering just a little about who is behind the person, your karma starts to improve. But the more you become rooted in who is behind the person, the less you worry about whether the karma gets better or worse. What I say may seem absurd to you, but your heart is as if it was saying, send me to hell too, but stay with me, and heaven will be there. On the contrary, don't send me to heaven if you're not with me. And who is with you? It's who truly is behind the person that authentic Christians, those who follow the teaching of Christ, call God, and that in India is called the being that you truly are, the self. No matter what you call it, it's essential that you feel the call to who you truly are, without even trying to have better karma. Now I'm going to tell you something that you may not like. Trying to have better karma gives you bad karma. Because in reality, you always mind only your own business. And why do I want to have better karma? Because I am happier. I have more money, more success. Why do you want to have better karma? Because you want better living conditions. You're not interested in finding out who you really are. You are more interested in better living conditions than in discovering life beyond any condition. And that's why a teaching that helps you improve karma works well in the transition from first to second grade. Then all of this has to fall by itself. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. Imagine having someone close to you who fills you with love. You won't mind if you go to Sicily, to Milan, to Tunis. You will say, please, stay with me, and decide where to go. I don't know if I seem stupid, and maybe I am, but you won't care where you go anymore. You know that wherever you go, something wants you to be there, and it will be better than what you want. Damn, look at that horrible place. I have to stand on a deck of a beautiful boat with an aperitif cocktail in hand. To do what? To enjoy it. No, you're just fucking up. You're just feeding your ego, maybe taking selfies to show others how cool you are, to get more followers. Look, I'm on a beautiful boat. You can be on a beautiful boat, but if you need to be there and not if you want to stay there. Your will still wants better karma, and you cannot say, may thy will be done, not mine. You can also say it this way, may what you want be done, not what I want. That is to say, you take care of the karma, not me. I entrust it to you, and please stay close to me. Whatever karma is for me, please stay close to me. If you succeed in not turning these words into a stupid technique to repeat, but into something that grows in your heart, then that's all you need. You don't need to go here and there, but you need a joke. And I apologize. If it's filthy and obscene, I really apologize. It's a story similar to that of the pharmacist in which the boy says, Daddy, tomorrow I'm going to see that girl. I told that joke at the restaurant, not to everybody, didn't I? Yes. Yes, well, I'm getting old. What do I do? I'm not an expert, the boy says. My son, make her laugh. Cujo's piece of advice. Make her laugh because women like to laugh a lot. Then do not talk too much and look at her intensely. But Dad, is that all? Yes, my son, have faith and it will all work out. The father knows what he is talking about. Have faith, make her laugh and look at her silently. Calmly, let her see your depth. Girls won't resist. Our boy goes out in the evening, but instead of coming back that night, he shows up the day after, all exhausted, completely worn out, with the bags under the eyes. The father says, Son, what happened? Dad, it's all right. Yes, but tell me, what did you do? Dad, I made her laugh. I told Peaches jokes. And she started to laugh. Oh, good. And then? Then I stopped and I looked at her. And she? She looked at me. And then? Dad, I was quiet and stared at her. Goodness. And so? And so, Dad, Zach. Son, the father is very proud. Cujo thrilled. Attaboy, my son. But Dad, I haven't finished. At that moment, the mother came in. The father suddenly changes attitude and has a drop streaming down from here. The mother came in when you were doing things with her? Yes, Daddy, yes, all good. What do you mean, all good? I looked at her. The father, a bit worried. What do you mean? You looked at her? The mother came in and I stared at her. I didn't pay too much importance to thoughts and I looked at her. But what did the mother do when you were with her daughter? She looked at me. And so I looked back at her more intensely. And then? She looked at me. I looked at her. And Zach! The father was shocked. But son, you made love even with the mother? Yes, Dad, all together. It has been wonderful. You were right. The father was a little bit upset. But Dad, it wasn't finished that way. The father was shocked. All of a sudden, the sister came in. The sister? Yes, the sister. A beautiful girl, just a little bit older. And she saw me, her mother, and her sister all in bed. And what did you do? Dad, I looked at her. And what about her? She looked back at me. And what about? I looked at her more with a calm eye, with the bracelet and so on. And she looked at me, and they were the naked mother, the naked sister, and she stared at me. And I looked at her. The father was shocked, his hand trembles. And so what happened? And Zackety! My goodness, son, you seem like the sex machine of James Brown's song.
Cantante nero, Tom Jones, no. James Brown, James Brown.
My goodness, son, I'm a bit worried. But Dad, it isn't over yet. Yes, it's not over because they have a Great Dane. A Great Dane? At that point, the father was so shocked that he didn't know what to say. A lovely female Great Dane, Harlequin. Sonny, what did you do? Daddy, the Great Dane came in. I was in bed. The sister, the other sister, the mother. And the father asked, Did she bite you? No, she looked at me. And what did you do? Daddy. I looked at her, a beautiful female, black and white, elegant indeed, with a certain presence. The father was shocked. And what about her, the dog? She looked at me. A wonderful Great Dane. What about you? Dad, I looked at her, feeling the presence with the bracelet. I looked at her and she went up to me. She laid her snout on my leg. And there they were, the naked mother, the naked sister, the other naked sister, and Zach. Daddy, it was beautiful. You taught me a beautiful thing. The father suddenly turns to the son. Hey, son, what are you looking at? The father said, it'll end badly with me as well. Better looking somewhere else. Laughing, there are things you'd better not looking at. But there are things you have to look straight into their eyes. Do not look into the direction of improving your karma, of having better life conditions. Look into the direction of who you are. Try to ask yourself, who's looking at all this? Who has a karma? Who am I really? This is what you truly have to see, and this will find a place for everything else. It will bring the most suitable life conditions for you and for expanding your own self-realization around you, without you controlling or deciding anything. Remember, stop looking at certain things. Do not look, don't worry about chakras and karma. You don't need this stuff. Look directly into who's really seeing, who you really are. We dive into this today. Jack was once speaking about shortcuts of IKEA. Do you know IKEA? The ones in big cities, the big ones. You can go through each single sector. They make you walk this path so for you to buy the biggest amount of things possible. I have to buy a bedside table. Yes, but you first have to see cupboards, bidets, plants, IKEA's ice cream, IKEA's pretzels. Yeah, I got it. I just wanted a bedside table. Did you see this IKEA's cute car? No, I don't need it. Have you taken a look at the curtains? I understand. We even have underpants. I actually just need a bedside table. So, you enter IKEA to get a bedside table and you go out with 16,000 things except the bedside table because you distract yourself and you don't see it. This is the indirect path. If you don't keep the heart pointed towards what really draws you, you'll find yourself up with stuff you don't need and you'll miss the only thing that was really drawing you. On the other hand, once you start feeling the call to see what has to be seen and stop seeing the Great Dane and the others, then you'll take IKEA's shortcuts. Do you know what I'm talking about? You'll skip some sectors. You won't need to pass through the karma improving sector. You won't need to pass through the cutlery sector or the light bulbs one. You go straight towards that which is for you, so you don't load yourself with things you don't need, forgetting about what you really need. Only then spirituality is let go of and the contact with the spirit blossoms.